Hello, good day. Let's start this new lesson for Unreal Engine 5.7.2.
Hello, good day. Welcome back. In this video, we will work on the player health, the player stamina, and we can look at the XP. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we will do is go to the content drawer. We go to the blueprints folder. This is RPG blueprints. We will create a new blueprint. We'll right click, go by blueprint class, and choose actor component. We call this BPC blueprint component underscore player stats and press enter. Double click and open it up. So we need to start setting up some variables. So the first variable will be current health. And this variable will be a float. Then you'll create another variable. Let's see if its variable be max health. This will also be a float, and in the meantime, you'll just compile and save. Then you create current stamina. And then we'll create max stamina. Compile and save. All these variables will be floats. Float is a variable which is a number and it has a decimal with it. Then we create a variable, call this variable XP. Create another variable, call it max XP. Create another variable, call this variable level. Compile and save. Level needs to be an integer. Remember, integer the whole number. Now I want to make the variables organized by creating categories. So for the first one, well, I already have this selected, so I'll just create level. Well, level, I'll make this the category of XP. XP, I'll put this in the category of XP. For the max XP, it will also be an XP. So the health, this will be health category. Max health will also be a health category. Stamina, this will go in the stamina category. Max stamina will also go in the stamina category. So you have three categories, a health, a stamina, and an XP category. Compile and then save. So now what we want to do is to create some functions. So this function will be called health, well, decreased health. So what we'll do, we'll set the current health. You'll get the current health and you will decrease it. So we'll drag from here and decrease it by a particular value. And this will go in current health. You want to decrease the health by some amount of damage that we are receiving, but we need to have a damage variable. We don't have a damage variable yet, so what we'll just do is connect this into here, and this will essentially be like our input regarding the function. So I'll just call this damage. So you know eventually we'll have to plug the damage inside of here. Now what you have to do from here is create a branch. Drag from here and type branch. So we need to check something. We have to check to see if the player's health is 0 or below 0. If the player's health is 0 or below 0, that means that we have to die. So what we need to do is get the current health, or just duplicate this. And it has to be less than, choose less than or equal to 0. The value here is 0. Plug this into here. That's the condition. So what you need to do now is go to decrease health, click it, then click on output, and we created this return node here, and this will be a boolean. We will put the output as is player dead. Note that we have damage, and that's a float, and went in the as an input node, and it's in this node here, and the output node is player dead, went in a return node. You'll compile and save in the meantime. So what I'll do is just duplicate this, and we have two conditions. If the player is dead, we will set this to be true and click this. If the player is not dead, we'll just connect this, but don't select this box here, so that means the player is not dead. Compile and save. So that's pretty much it for the decrease health function. So we need to create an increase health function. Let's say we have a player and the player has leveled up. We want the character after they have leveled up for them to experience some kind of increase in health. So if we want them to experience some kind of increase in health, there should be a function for the increase of health. So we can create the function, but before we do that, I want to just go to this variable health, current health, and change the default value. I want to set the default value at 100. So let's put 100 here. I'll compile and save, so I know that it will save that value. When in max health, you want to start the game with 100. For the stamina, current stamina, 100. I will do the same for the max stamina. Compile and save. Now let's go to XP. So the default value for the XP will be 0. The max XP, let's put it at 100. So essentially you need to get 100 XP in order to level up. And level, well, by default, you can be level 1. And now think about it, there should be a max level as well. Max level. Max level should be XP category. Let's put the default value. Need to compile and save. Let's put this at 20. So now let's create the increase health function. So what we'll do, we'll set the max health, set, then you'll get the max health, then we'll add a value. We'll add a value to here and connect this. So you realize this is very similar to how we set up the decrease health. The amount we want to increase the health by, it will be our input. Compile and save. You call this input value health incrementation. Compile and save. I just realized we didn't put the health in that category. So let's put this under the health category. Put the decrease health under the health category. Compile and save. So now let's work on the stamina. Decrease stamina. Increase stamina. Increase stamina. This will be a stamina. This will also be a stamina. Compile and save. So we work on the decreased stamina. We will drag across this and we will set current stamina. We'll drag across this, get current stamina, drag from here, type minus. So subtract, we'll subtract some value that will come from here. I think we need to connect this first. Subtract some value from here. You need to connect this to here. So we'll be subtracting some value from the current stamina, just like how we did for the health. We'll give the input a name. We call it depleted stamina. Compile and save. And then we'll create some boundaries. So drag from here. I create a branch. So we'll get the stamina. Get current stamina. If this is less than or equal to, if it is less than or equal to 0, then we can no longer, let's say, run or attack or something like that then. We need to go to here and create an output. We call this no stamina left. You connect this. So I'll duplicate this. So you have no stamina left. You have some stamina left. So basically, what will happen is that if you have no stamina left, you wouldn't be able to like run or attack or something like this. Compile and save. Now we could work on the increased stamina function. So we will set the max stamina. You get the max stamina. Drag from here, add. Whatever you want to add, you will add it in here. You connect this, and for this value, the input, you call it like added stamina. Compile and save. So you realize how similar these functions are in terms of the logic. Just make a slight change in the naming of the function. I'll call this increase max stamina. Compile and save. And for the health, select this. For the health, select this. Type increase max health. Compile and save. Then we want to add another function. Increase overall health. Category will be the health. Compile and save. So this will be increasing the overall health. So what we'll do, we'll get the health variable, current health, set current health, get current health, drag from here, add, connect this, drag from here, connect inside here, get this parameter, we call this added health. Compile and save. So you need to set some limits for this. So first we'll create a branch. You connect the branch here. For the condition, you'll get the current health. You'll get the max health. We have greater than. So basically, we're checking to see if the current health is greater than the max health. This is the condition we're connecting in here. If it's bigger, we will set the current health to equal to the max health. So this is the current health and the max health. So this is how we set the current health to be equal to the max health. We do our condition, compile, and we save. So now let's do the same for the stamina. Close off these things in the meantime. So get the stamina, create a new function called increase stamina. We're going to set the current stamina. You will get the current stamina. Drag from here, add, connect this, connect this. This will cause a condition. The value, well, will be called added stamina. I'm going to compile and save in the meantime. Then what we'll do, we'll create a branch. We need to check to see if our current stamina is bigger than our max stamina. Get current stamina. Drag from here. Greater than max stamina. No, not health stamina. So I'll end this video here. In next video, I'll start working on the user interface. Thank you.
That is it for this lecture. Do you want to learn more? Like and subscribe. You can also contact us, Impulse Response Enterprises Ltd.